So, hello. Sorry for the megapixelation on my phone. The camera quality is just terrible. I got a new phone recently compared to my last 4K phone. And when I vlog now, like on the reverse thing, the quality is like really crap, but I'm sure you don't really care because I just thought I'd pop on here and just do a quick kind of update from yesterday's. Was it yesterday I uploaded? I can't remember. Where I said I was going to the doctor and stuff. And yeah, so as you can see, I've got a nice, peaceful, sleepy baby on me at the moment. I look incredibly bedrazzled. You know that when you've had your hair in a ponytail all day and it's got that like kink? That's what I've got. Chris has gone to take Sebastian to my mother-in-law's, kind of just to give me a bit of rest and to his mother is his mum's going Christmas shopping tomorrow, so she's taking Sebastian out, and Chris is going to watch the football. So I think secretly he says he's going to doing it to give me a rest, but actually he kind of just wanted to go and watch the football. So they live about an hour and a half. Um, so yeah, so it's just us, and basically I went to the doctor this morning, and as you guys know, I suspected silent reflux. Now, Sarah, this Mama's Life, who's also a channel mum vlogger, has literally just put up a video. I like check out her channel; it's really cool. I started watching her because obviously my husband being in the army, and stuff. Her partner's is deployed at the moment, and so that's how I kind of found her. But she's not long had a little boy, and he has been diagnosed with silent reflux. And it sounds to me, from what she says, that she's pretty much gone through the same hell that I've gone through, although probably she's gone through it a bit longer. We've only had, what, 3.5? I'd say it's been 2 weeks of this. He was fine until sort of day 9. In fact, he was an angel, if you guys remember, until day 9. And then that's when it hit. Now, obviously, I guess one of these things you don't know exactly what it is, but I highly, highly suspect from all the symptoms, like he ticks all the symptoms of silent reflux. So, just to give you kind of an update, I will do like a proper video on it. But basically, if you Google the symptoms of silent reflux, and I'll try and leave them in the link in the description bar. That probably won't be for another day or so because I'm probably just going to upload this straight away of what the symptoms are. But basically, he was unconsolably crying. He'd be feeding, bobbing up and down on the boob, pulling away suddenly while he's feeding, severely arching his back, constantly arching his back. He'd suddenly just scream, like he'd be completely fine, and then just be like, "Ah," and just scream. Weirdly, he's fine on his back. Some babies really don't like that, but that could just be because he's fine on his back until the reflux comes up. I don't know. Until the acid comes up. And another thing as well is that breastfed, I don't know about formula fed babies, but certainly breastfed silent reflux babies feed constantly. They don't stop feeding. And I think they said it's kind of their way of easing the pain of the reflux. So, and I think breast milk has like a natural kind of anti-acid in it to try and like relax the stomachs. It's quite gentle on the stomach. So they just feed, feed, feed. So after kind of much kind of research and discussion and debate, a lot of people said I should cut out dairy in my diet. I don't know if I can't remember if I mentioned this yesterday. I tried to research to see if there was a way I could avoid that, but because I love like dairy, but unfortunately, there is, I think something like 1/3 of babies with silent reflux or with reflux have a dairy intolerance of some kind. It's really common in babies anyway for them to not be able to digest cow's milk protein. Again, that's only 1/3 of babies, so Albert may be fine, but we need to eliminate it. It'll probably just really massively help. And lots of people, loads of my friends on Facebook and people I've spoken to have said it massively helps. So yesterday we started cutting out dairy out of our diet. And actually, if you're not going vegan, if you're just cutting out dairy, there's absolutely loads that you can still have, so that's fine. So we've started doing that. This morning I went to the doctor and I was a bit concerned because the doctor I booked in with is the doctor that I struggled with last time. If you guys remember back in my pregnancy update, I think again I mentioned this in the video. I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. That the doctor that I had seen wasn't that great. I had anemia or something. He wasn't that great. but actually he was really, really good with Albert. Now, as soon as I walked in, I kind of told a bit of a pork, well, not really a porky. Sebastian had reflux, but it kind of went kind of untreated. It kind of cleared itself up, but he had the reflux like where he was being sick. So I did kind of say to him, "Oh, my son had this, and they talked about giving him ranitidine, but it cleared up." So but before I even had to say that, he was like, from when he heard the symptoms that I described of Albert having, he said, "Yeah, I agree with you. It's silent reflux." So I was like, "Oh, thank goodness!" He was really, really supportive. He'd actually apparently just been to a seminar about it, and I said that I'd given up the dairy. He's like, "Fantastic." He said, "If you were formula feeding, I'd prescribe you now a dairy-free milk, but you're doing the right things by cutting out, the dairy." And he then also prescribed me ranitidine. He did also suggest that we would do a paediatric referral, but then we both decided that actually we'd wait like until his 6-week check, so like another 3 weeks, because he's already got a paediatric referral because of his jaundice, because he's still jaundiced. So we decided it's just all a bit too much. So we're just going to wait until his 6-week check to see how we get on with the ranitidine. Now, some people, certainly Sarah said on her video that they noticed almost immediately a difference in her baby once she'd had the first dose. Of some people that I've read, it takes a couple of weeks. And the same with if you've cut out dairy, it can take a few weeks to notice while the dairy is leaving your system, it can take up to 6 weeks for all the proteins to leave your system. So I suppose that could be an indicator as to whether he's actually got cow's milk intolerance or as to whether it's just purely reflux, as to how well all these kind of drugs work. There is omeprazole that they can give as well. And it's interesting because I suffer and have suffered from reflux since I was 13. So I've been on ranitidine and omeprazole myself. So I know quite how well they kind of work. So far he's had 2 doses of ranitidine. Now, the first dose he did kind of spit up, cough up, which is interesting because as I've said in the previous video, he's never actually been sick. And then I gave him his second dose and he wasn't sick at all. Now, weirdly, the evening times can be quite a difficult time for us. This evening he fed. I was able to settle him down after he fed, and he's been asleep pretty much for a good couple of hours. He's woke up now to feed. I've given him I gave him his last dose of ranitidine, then I fed him. He did have a few moments of kind of a bit of screaming and a bit of but he's finally settled on my tummy. It took minutes. As you can see here, there's the Chico next to me. Thingamajiggy, co-sleeper. It's on. Can you see how like mega reclined that is? Now, we live in a house that's kind of totally skew-if. Like our cupboard looks like it's about to fall forward, but it's not. It's just the kind of the house. It's kind of really old cottage. So sometimes this can look reclined even though it's not. So now it looks mega reclined because we have actually reclined it. And in here, I don't know if you can see, this is a sheepskin. That's a sheepskin. It's really like nice for babies to lie on, like natural sheepskin. It keeps them warm in the winter and cool in the summer. And this is a sleepy head. So we had a Pod. Pod's slightly different. And lots of people have suggested a sleepy head. They are really expensive. I got mine secondhand on eBay. But wow, it is the best money I've spent. He seems to settle in it really, really well, because it's actually like a mattress. So I'm going to put him back. And this is like the first time he's ever even been in the co-sleeper. He doesn't settle in there at all. So I'm really, really chuffed. I don't know. I don't want to jinx it or anything. I feel like I jinxed it already with me going on about how wonderful he was in the first week, sorry. But I'm really hoping that, this is kind of, we're on the up now, because it's mentally exhausting for me. It's really getting me down. It got me really depressed, actually. It has been, I had moments where I feel really depressed, really anxious as well. I'm hoping that this hopefully will just improve it. I know babies get colicky and they get sicky and stuff, but hopefully this is the thing that's going to just take the edge off. I just want like a happy baby, and it's lovely when he's lying down. sometimes, and he's looking around, and you see his like natural facial expression, but you don't see that very often. Most of the time he's frowning, or he's crying, or he's upset, or he's, and I want to see the kind of sunny side of him, really. And just to kind of enjoy these early days, because I couldn't enjoy it with Sebastian, as you guys know. I was so depressed. This time, I don't have any of that kind of postnatal depression that I had with him, and yet I can't really enjoy it that much because he's poorly. So it's kind of a bit unfair, but hopefully we're on the up now. So that's the update on that. I will do a proper video on it, and I might do a few videos on going dairy free and stuff. This is so new to me. Like I said, I only started yesterday. I'm still learning so much, but I hope to do some videos on it, because I think it'd really help. I have no plans to stop feeding him myself. I don't plan to go on any kind of formula and stuff. So, I hope that it never gets to the point where I struggle so much I might need to put him on dairy-free formula. And it's a good job now, actually, that I never gave him, I mentioned previously that Chris had bought a tub of formula just because I asked him to, but actually I had no intention of ever using it. It's like literally collecting dust at the top of, I might have to sell it actually, because it is just collecting dust at the moment. But it's just as well I didn't give it to Albert, because if it is dairy intolerance, then that would have just made him so much worse. So, yeah, and hopefully I might be able to get a rest where I'm just feeding constantly at the moment, where he obviously is just trying so hard to settle himself. Here we go, Albert. I also want to do some more videos where I include Sebastian. I feel really bad. I feel like the whole channel was so much about Sebastian, and now Sebastian's kind of like not in any of the videos. And that's purely because on the days that I film, it's days he's at nursery. And then when he's at home, it's just manic that I never get around to filming. So I'm going to try and do some more videos with him, because you guys, I'm sure, want to know what he's getting up to. I think, still need to do, I think I've done a 2-year update. I need to do like a 2.5-year update, ideally, and do some more stuff with him. Anyway, I'm rambling on. I've been rambling for 12 minutes, and this video is unedited, so poor you guys. Anyway, yeah, I will chat to you soon. Bye.